Yo, what's up? Welcome to Citrus Lane. I'm your host, Jess. Let's get into it.
How this is actually just a cover-up. The 2022 World Cup was held in Qatar last year, which is really close to the UAE and Dubai. This matters because the stadium was built by migrants and forced laborers. And although we haven't been hearing about it a lot in the United States, it's all across Europe. But this has also shed light on the use of migrant labor all across Dubai, which I can't imagine is great for their tourism. And considering how much money they dumped into tourism campaigns in the past few years, they're probably not too happy about that. Hence the need to partner with a brand like Tarte that has access to influencers from the United States. When Tarte does trips like these, they're rarely paying for anything at all. I mean, even the airline the girls flew on is owned by the government of Dubai. So what do you think? Was this just a cover-up to get us to stop focusing on the use of migrant labor in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates?
When laid out like that, it certainly seems that way.
Alright guys, we're pretty sure we're onto a pretty big conspiracy theory here, so stay tuned. We'll show you what's going on here. And we are currently in a place that has this logo on there. As you can see, we're in that place. They're putting a new thing in. What's this little guy? Now we need to be a bit quiet here, don't we?
Right, yeah. We're not sure if they're changing from one to the other. I did hear a rumor that this particular shop that we currently are in are going to be stocking that Anko brand, which belongs to the other shop. But I don't know, I just can't. I think it's really odd that they've got one label on one bit in a different shop. Weird.
Very interesting. 2024 is going to be very...
For you younger folk, that's the Kmart logo. That's really weird because Kmart went out of business and they filed for bankruptcy in 2002, and the collapse and merge happened with Sears in 2000, like from that period to 2009. So that's weird.
Alright, so check this out. I got this crazy theory. So a lot of people know about the Mandela effect, right? And how people have different memories, like I guess from different timelines or whatever, right? So people remember like certain people was unalive, and and I guess in a different timeline. So like now, those people that were unalive are now alive. Or what if we just went to where they are alive now? So that's what I'm saying. Let's say like, they died in the life that we were all in, and then they went into another dimension, and now they are alive in that dimension. So what if we all shifted to that dimension? Like they was talking about with the Mayans that 2012 was the last, like that was the end of the world, right? So what if it really ended and if we shifted to a different dimension where those people died and now they are alive again because we're in that same dimension? I don't know, that was just a crazy theory I kind of just thought about, but tell me what y'all think.
I get what he's trying to say, but like, man, how much weed did you smoke before you got on camera and said that?
You're not even ready to imagine the craziness we're in right now. Antarctica is the most mysterious continent in the world. A new theory is so crazy that it could completely change your perception of the Earth. According to this theory, Antarctica is not just a massive ice continent, but rather an enormous ice wall that surrounds all the continents. In 1992, a new world map was created, the Gleason map, which shows Antarctica encircling all our continents. This theory goes even further. Some believe that if we manage to cross this wall, we will encounter numerous other continents deliberately hidden from us by governments.
I believe more in Hollow Earth than I do in the flat Earth ice wall theory. Like, some of these like flat earther people have lots of money. Go down to the ice wall and show us that it's physically there. Otherwise, I don't trust you. Like, you sound just as, like, not that you sound just as crazy, but, like, in some cases you sound crazier than what you're trying to say sounds crazy.
So one of my best friends just sent me one of the most unhinged maps of the United States that I've ever seen. It is a map of the United States categorized by which state flags include toes. And it's broken down by yes, but they're animal toes, they're blocked by shoes, and no. But the thing is, this could be broken down so much more accurately. Like, this map says that Minnesota has toes, but these are the toes on the Minnesota flag, and that's not a toe. That is the idea of a toe. We know a toe should go there. So, obviously, I spent time making a much more accurate map. And because I know the icons over at the side are going to cover up my legend, this is how I chose to break down US states by how much toe is on their flag. And believe you me, I hate just as much as you do that I just said that sentence. Anyways, so we have yes, human toes, yes, animal toes, conceptual human toes, conceptual animal toes, conceptual mixed human and animal toes, hypothetical human toes, hypothetical animal toes, covered by shoes, and no. Now, what is the difference between conceptual toes and hypothetical toes? So a conceptual toe is like I pointed out on the Minnesota flag. Like, yeah, we know that's where toes go, but it's not nearly enough definition to actually be considered a toe. The Washington flag has hypothetical toes, because, like, George Washington probably had toes. We just don't see them on the flag. If we could move the elements of the flag around, like maybe up and down, or like in a 3D manner, and maybe pull George Washington out of the flag, we would eventually get to where the toes should be, but we just don't see them on the flag right now. It's a pretty good day to be from Connecticut.
Thank you for taking the time to do that.
What's Trump trying to say? To your 87 million followers, a conspiracy theory that Joe Biden orchestrated to have SEAL Team 6, the Navy SEAL Team 6, killed to cover up the fake death of bin Laden. Now, why would you send a lie like that to your followers? You retweeted
That was a retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
You're not like someone.
I've never been a fan of Trump's like social media behavior, but that's like grasping at straws for real.
I have a new conspiracy theory that I have been developing, researching, preparing to roll out. I'm very excited to explain it to you right now. If you go to any outdoor event of any kind, it doesn't matter where, what country, there is going to be a booth with these exact pants for sale. Not only are they going to have these pants, it's going to be an entire booth of just this pants. Every single one. I promise you, if you go and look, you will find this booth. I don't even know what these pants are called, but they're selling them. They're selling them at every single festival or really any outdoor event. They're selling them. The weirdest part is that I've never seen anybody buy the pants. I've never even seen anybody manning the booth. The booth is just there. It's entirely possible that this booth is just popping up on its own. I still don't even know what the conspiracy is exactly. Currently, I just have the theory part, but I will absolutely keep you posted if I figure it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of outside events I've been to recently, and to be fair, it was a witch festival, so it didn't... if I saw them, it would have made sense for them to be there. But I'll keep an eye out, and you keep me posted.
Roseanne Barr, did you see what she said today? She said she doesn't see a 2024 election even happening in the United States.
I don't think we're going to have no election.
You want to bet money?
I'll bet.
How much?
I'll bet big. I don't think we're going to have no election.
$1,000.
All right.
Shake hands.
I did not want to hear that.
I mean, it's possible because if Russia does technically declare war or we declare war, then he can stay in.
Right. He could declare martial law, or you could literally go into the War Powers Act, which then takes him out of the occasion, and then you have an entire emergency set up right now. Roseanne.
Well, that's terrifying. Start gathering supplies, guys.
Conspiracy theory that I'm workshopping, it's that the 80s, like the decade, only happened in America. Because if you talk to any foreign person and you're like, oh my God, the 80s, like, wasn't that such a cool time? And like the leg warmers and the Cabbage Patch dolls and the Trapper Keepers and the cocaine. They're like, I don't know, like, I guess. Like, it wasn't a thing for anybody but Americans. Nobody else cares. Why do we, like, stand that decade so hard? It's like it was the best our country was ever going to get. It's like it's all been downhill. It's like it's the only time anyone was happy.
She's just having a meltdown on camera. Yeah, I don't think other countries care about the American 80s. I think that, like, you'll find some that care about, like, the movies that came out of there, but no, people don't care about, like, all of the things that you just mentioned.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does.
Do you agree with what he is saying? Could there be a darker side to these contracts that these artists sign, or is Dave Chappelle making it up? TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed a contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate. I needed a way out, and it wasn't good money, and it wasn't good circumstances, but what else am I gonna do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table, and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of 3-Card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
Dave, always spitting straight facts. It's one of my favorite games, dude.
There is a secret document from the CIA that has just been released, and what it reveals is terrifying. It is called The Story of Adam and Eve, and it explains how the end of the world will occur. And the scariest part is that it is entirely logical and makes complete sense. It explains that the North Pole and the South Pole shift every 12 to 15,000 years. And when this shift occurs, it triggers a massive apocalypse with earthquakes and giant tsunamis. After the apocalypse happens, we go back to prehistoric times, the Stone Age. It also states that the first humans like us lived 10,000 years before Jesus Christ. So we are approximately 13,000 years after the first humans, and we are already witnessing significant events like climate change and other catastrophes. The book also claims that we are the 6th civilization to emerge from the apocalypse. We reach a certain point in civilization, and then everything resets. This would explain many things, such as the Sahara Desert once being green and Antarctica having forests. Now things are changing, with some places becoming colder while others become hotter. This is why there is mention of the flood in the Bible, and it's likely what happened to Atlantis. It would make sense for a city to be underwater if water wasn't there before.
That is logical. Although, I think, first, there's a channel called The Y-Files, if you haven't seen them. They're massive at this point. They have a video on this. And then also, apparently the Eye of the Sahara might be good evidence for Atlantis.
Vampires actually exist. Yes, you heard that right. Many think of vampires as fictional creatures, but what if I told you they were actually real? In 2021, a man from Ohio named David Young wanted to uncover the truth about the existence of vampires. He had found lost texts that hinted at a village deep in the Appalachian Mountains full of vampires. He packed his car and decided to explore the mountain range. For over a month, David searched up and down the mountains without finding anything. However, one night, he saw what appeared to be a strange person in the middle of the woods. As he got closer, what he saw will leave you speechless. The mysterious figure was holding a woman in its arms, its teeth firmly around the woman's neck. David was terrified, but decided to follow the creature to its village. As he approached the village, what he saw will shock you. He saw a blood-feeding ritual happening right in front of his eyes. Follow and send to a friend for part 2.
Definitely want to find a part 2. This channel has quite a few videos, so I will get back to you if they have a part 2.
Theories that were proven real. China dinosaur theory.
According to this theory, China found an island that is full with dinosaurs. A woman that was for vacation in China reportedly saw it on the news itself. They said that it was an expedition of 15 people to an uncharted island, and there were found multiple new dinosaur species.
I have heard something like this several times, of people finding dinosaurs. We live in a world of smartphones, like, just take more camera and video footage. But I guess then people like me would just say, oh, well, it's just CGI.
Now watch this.
How far along are you? Just about there. Father must be very proud.
I wouldn't know. He's out of sight, out of mind.
That's too bad.
No. Yeah, I prefer it that way. I don't need a man telling me what to do.
What about the baby?
I got it under control.
But it's gonna burn.
What'd you just say?
I said your fucking baby's gonna burn.
Go to hell, lady.
All those little babies are gonna burn.
That's from a movie called, runs to the TV to find this movie. It's called Legion. It came out in 2010. It's a good movie.
So, my favorite new conspiracy theory is the one that Jay-Z must be a time traveler because he was wearing a shirt 20 years ago of a picture of himself in the future. Completely mind blown. That's correct.
What? I mean, maybe he just acted out the shirt, right?
This is what they call the Illuminati bloodline. Yes, this is all facts. You didn't know Barack Obama is Dick Cheney's 8th cousin, and he's also George W. Bush's 11th cousin. See Princess Diana in there, Madonna in there. It's a lot of people who are related in the industry that we don't know. That's how they get these positions, and that's how they're plants in the industry. This is an article from CBS confirming that they are all cousins. I'm gonna show y'all this just to show y'all an example how people of power go to great extents to stay in power. Now, this is Charles II of Spain. Notice the jawline is disfigured. That's from inbreeding. Believed by inbreeding, they are able to keep their bloodline strong.
There does seem to be a lot of connections with the elites.
I don't care what kind of jeans you got. I don't care what kind of yoga pants you got, how expensive they are, what the quality is. Neither of them are fucking with these. These bad boys right here are something else. But honestly, I feel like there's some type of conspiracy here. When I think back to every single time I've seen a girl wearing a pair of those pants, the booty has always looked scrumdiddlyocious. It's always just looked voluptuous, and so like you just want to grab it. You know, and I've seen girls in a nice pair of jeans, and I've seen girls in a nice pair of yoga pants, but it's never looked the same. It's never hit the same. And it just don't make sense. It's not even statistically possible that every girl that I've ever seen wearing a pair of those pants has a nice booty. It's not possible. So it has to be some type of catfishing. You know, like how men wear hats. We wear hats when our hairline's all fucked up and when we're balding and shit. And then we take it off and you say, oh shit, I got hat fished. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I take a girl home with them damn tapestry, Del Rey pants, whatever they call it, I don't even know. She takes them bitches down and she got a booty like Hank Hill. I'ma be pissed. So y'all need to come out, just come on out, tell the truth about it because it doesn't make sense. I can't wrap my head around it.
He's catching wise. He's catching wise to the plan. No, that's true. It's 100% true. those pants do something to the female booty. It is scrumdiddlyumptious.
His name isn't even Jesus. His name was Yeshua. The J is a new letter. It didn't even exist until recently. I mean, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, no. Bro, if I say Jesus, which is the English translation of the name Yeshua in Hebrew, it doesn't change who that name represents. Okay? And what he did, etc., etc. It's the translation of a name from one language to a next. It don't change the meaning of the name or who the name represents. Just like I say, if I say Cristobal Colon in Spanish, it don't change when I say Christopher Columbus in English. It's still talking about the guy that sailed on the boat in 1492 and landed in the Americas on the Nina and Pinta and Santa Maria. It don't change none of that. Okay, so don't make up lies now. Oh, you're not calling on the right name. But that's garbage. That's ignorant of translation. Okay? names can be translated from one language to the next and not change the meaning or who that name represents, just like words can be translated from one language to the next and not change what those words mean. Okay, this is simple linguistic, simple translation. Okay, but this guy's the genius though, right? The ancient civilizations expert. Let's listen to what he got to say.
We're talking about, okay, what is really the name Isus? When you look into the root word of that and you go back into some of the ancient tongues, you find out it's Hail Zeus.
No, when you go back to some of the ancient tongues, when you look at the root word, it's Yeshua in Hebrew Aramaic first, that was translated into Greek, Jesus, starting with a I-E-S-O-U-S, not Zeus, Jesus. It might sound the same, it might rhyme, but them words got nothing to do with each other. Just like in English, I can say, I'm about to go sell something, or I'm about to get on my cell phone. The two words, even though they sound exactly alike, even more alike than Jesus and Zeus, they have completely different meanings and have nothing to do with each other. Okay? But this guy's an ancient civilizations expert, right? Who is explaining something as if he found some discovery about the name of Jesus and the ancient languages it comes from, when in actuality I can just go on Google right now and find out exactly where this word began and the translation and what Jesus means and what Zeus means, and I can find out just by Googling, simple typing in Google, the difference between Zeus and Jesus, how they are not similar at all. They are two completely different Greek words. Greek is a language today just like it was back then, and you can find this out. Simple. You ain't find out nothing special. But let's go.
So people that are calling on the name of Jesus all the time, they're calling for help from Zeus, which is actually a
No, people that's calling on the name of Jesus all the time is calling on a Messiah who died for their sins and rose from the dead. That's who they calling on. That's how they're identifying it, okay? Which is how it's supposed to be identified. Whether you call him in Jesus or Yeshua or Jesus or Yesu or Jesus, it don't matter. It doesn't change who the name represents from the original language to the translated language. But this guy's the genius though, Mr. Ancient Civilizations expert.
Okay, to dude's credit, I mean, I think the intention says a lot. I don't think the converted Zeus is going to get any power if you don't believe that that's where it's going. Like, I think if you call one name and you believe it's going to a specific place, the psychic intent has a lot to do there. But I also, on the other side of that, like, Carson's doing more than just Googling it. He's like reading books on the subject. He's, talking to people in other countries. He's, exploring this. He's not just getting on TikTok trying to make like a gotcha video.
Everyone's talking about the earthquakes in Japan, but take a look at this. This is the last 48 hours, all the seismic waves on this earth. Why is no one talking about this? Here's some videos from Japan and the earthquakes that hit on January 1st, 2024. This is the end times that we're living in right now. This is one of the greatest moments to be alive. A new island's coming up after a volcano. Absolutely insane. And let's not forget to mention that the weather is completely different all over the United States right now. Once again, look at what's going on. Nobody's going to talk about this. I want you guys to open up your eyes and open up your heart. And this is not a scare tactic. This is showing you what's going on right now. And I'm crying out from the rooftops, believe in Jesus. He is the only way. He can set you free, and do not have fear. Fear does not come from God. Only fear the Lord.
Things certainly do seem to be happening. little palate cleanser there at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Like if you feel like it. Sub if you want to help out. Drop your feelings below. Stay positive, guys. Bye.